Hi, Misha here, and it's time for another diecast model from the Battlestar Galactica series from Eaglemoss. This is issue number 12, the Cylon Baseship, or as it's occasionally referred to, especially in the miniseries, the Battlestar. And this is what replaced this from the original series. This is the original Basestar, which we got just under a year ago in the collection. And this is issue 12, as I said. And that was, in the beginning, how many issues this collection was promised to be. And they've already announced number 13, which is going to be Colonial 1. It'll be interesting to see how much past that they end up going. And two usual caveats. One, I am blind, so I'm pointing this the best I can. I just had to mention this because it seems like on the Cylon videos there are more comments about framing. I don't know what it is about the Cylon ships that's difficult for me, but there it is. Second, you hear noises. That is Peanut the tripod cat. She came running after me as I was out here doing the video. Typically I do not let cats out here, but she knows how to play me, so she is already annoyed that she's not getting full attention. Yep. So, with that said, what about the Basestar, or Baseship? I have to admit, I like the model of the original for the classicness. It's, you know, very much like two flying saucers made it up. In the original series, this was a battleship and carrier. It had raiders on board. It had about 100 laser turrets. It had two big pulsar cannons on top, plus missiles. It was considered less maneuverable than a Battlestar, but more advanced in some departments like sensors. This was, of course, their primary ship. Hello, Peanut. I want you to just look again at the, the double-decker kind of thin profile. Now this model is got a lot of plastic going on. It has kind of the inner core is metal, but then the outer part is plastic, and the reason they did that is for detail. And I point that out because here, yes, Peanut, she's on my leg, we have almost the opposite. This is one of the most entirely die-cast models I have seen from Eaglemoss. The arms are all metal, the top is metal, the bottom is metal. Really the only plastic is a little bit of an insert in here, but it's very minimal. It's very heavy, even though this model is not, it's kind of spindly. See? Yep. But it is very substantial. And the stand it's on, it holds it very well, as you just saw. Nice and sturdy, but also doesn't hold it so tight that it can't maneuver or wiggle around if tapped. Whereas this, it kind of forks in a similar fashion, but because the model's a little lighter, yeah. Hello, Peanut. No, Peanut, that's not good. I knew when she got out here that she would not like the fact that she wasn't the center of attention. Go. 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 I don't need your help with this, thank you. Always surprises here, right? So yeah, a very sturdy model. And it came in pretty quickly from Eaglemoss. It was funny, they were very slow to ship it, but then when they got it shipped, it got here in just a couple of days. As far as the history, this was from the mini-series to the final episode and the reimagined. It's a biomechanical or organic ship. It's not a combination battleship carrier like a Battlestar. It's more of just, strictly speaking, an aircraft carrier. And by that I mean it has a lot of raiders on board. Low-end estimates on some kind of, say, 400, 450. But high-end estimates range from 800 to over 850. And these arms, 6 arms, each raider kind of has its own little docking port, meaning it can launch them very quickly. They don't have to wait for each tube. They can launch nearly all of their raiders at once because these arms are, essentially that, just connected pods. Keeping in mind, the Cylon Raider itself is organic, and so they kind of attach to it and then fly off and then land. Although the central core has more habitable zones for the humanoid form Cylons or Centurions. It does have missiles. It has 220 missile turrets that can rotate, giving full coverage. It has nuclear missiles as well as conventional missiles. But, this is why I say it's not really a battleship, it does not have kinetic ordnance. It doesn't have flat cannons. It doesn't have point defense cannons. It doesn't have large battleship offensive cannons. Meaning that its defense, especially after it uses its missiles, is its raiders. Several times in the series, the raiders are either destroyed or lured away, decoyed off, leaving the base ship, Basestar, pretty defenseless. On top of not having guns, it really doesn't have a lot of armor. Not compared to a Battlestar. It can't take as much punishment. And it also seems to be perhaps less maneuverable than a Battlestar. On the other hand, it can regenerate. It can heal, grow new limbs, including full arms or whatever you want to call them, appendages. It also only has a hybrid to control it, meaning its crew is pretty small. It can also fly in an atmosphere, which I don't think a Battlestar can routinely do. I think we see them a few times kind of skimming, but not full atmosphere. She's about to come back. Peanut, please. And what they do is these two sections, you see they're asymmetrical here, going against each other for atmospheric flight. Yes, Peanut. Later. They will rotate, making kind of an arrow shape. Meaning it can kind of knife into an atmosphere. Kind of interesting. Of course, these had standard raiders. They also had heavy raiders, and they could use raptors and other things. I think even vipers, as we saw with the rebel Cylons, could be on board. The inside of the ship is also kind of organic looking, although kind of Spartan. The Cylons themselves project, meaning they could kind of dream it to look however they wanted. I know a lot of people don't like this and prefer the original. I actually think, the two cones or saucers, and then you look at this. the concept of two things together is there. You can kind of see, not a resemblance, but a certain design aesthetic. This came into use in the universe after the first Cylon War. During that war, they did use ships more like these. And then these evolved into these. And we even see an interim step a few times in the series. If I don't pet this cat. This is what rescue cats are like, guys. If you want a cat that just needs attention all the time, just get a 3-legged rescue cat. Yeah, well. But an interesting ship. I really think it's... the model is neater than I expected. I actually expected it because of how dainty it is to be very kind of light and plastic feeling. Not unlike the original here. Which again, I don't hate, but I wish Eaglemoss had made it a little more diecast. This, though, on the other hand, since it has relatively sparse detail, especially on the external top and bottom, they went full metal, which makes it feel more like you get something for your money, a little more of a good value. The Raider is pretty good in that too. It's very big and very heavy too. So I think it was really all these Battlestars. There isn't one I just don't like. One of the lightest ones is probably the Colonial Raptor, but again, because of needing more detail, it's more plastic. And of course, these come in a nice box with foam to keep them safe. And they come with a nice, I think it's 16-page magazine talking about the design and development. But yeah, just thought I would share. I've been kind of sharing these as they come out. Colonial 1 will be next, probably around Christmas. So for Thanksgiving, we'll have the Basestar. And it is nice to kind of have our Cylon fleet complete. We have Raiders from original and new series, and now we have Basestars from original and new series. Not to mention also the Blood and Chrome Raider, which is another one I wasn't expecting a lot out of and almost didn't buy it. And then I get it and I really like it. So, hey, you never know, right? Alrighty, guys. I hope I got something on camera before you besides my cat's rear end. Apologies for that, but what can you do? Appreciate you tuning in. And if you could, like, share, and subscribe. Check out some of my other Battlestar videos, perhaps. Or check out the Cat Corner if you want to see more of Peanut and her friends. This is Misha, and I'll catch you very soon next time.